Windows went blue. More and more bad security habits. Stories that boil Bruce, plus tech news from around the country. All that and more zipped up, ready for unpacking on your end, coming up next. Well, I hope everybody is having a fabulous evening. I know I am so far, and it's been an interesting week, and I hope you all are doing well. And Bruce, how are you doing this evening?
Wonderful. How are you?
I can't hear you, Bruce. So something's not right. Let's see here. Oh,
I'm doing
I
wonderful.
have you on the wrong microphone.
You
That's
do.
the problem.
You expected me to take your seat, huh?
I did. I didn't have the addition right here. I didn't carry my one. Is the problem?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I carried too many ones.
Yeah.
I went from 2 to 3.
We're doing the show again without the guru, so it's gonna be different.
I was going to get to that.
Well, I was gonna say I was doing great, except for that.
Well, yeah, we are doing good.
I'm sure I'm doing better than your week has been.
Well,
with what you've had to deal with.
I really shouldn't have any complaints because I got to tell you something. There's a couple things I can.
Microsoft keeps you in a job.
Well, that is true. Microsoft is
keeps
keeping
us
me
all
in a job,
right?
But the other thing is this: I don't have a fire around me. I don't have a
Yeah,
fire around
that's
my
true.
home. I don't have an earthquake.
Or a hurricane. That's
Yeah, I
destroyed
don't have any
everything.
kind of things that's really destroying me. So I really,
You got
in the
electricity.
grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
I can't really complain. I have a job, but I do want to say a big shout out to the guru because I'm going to tell you he was on a work thing, okay, and he got the show stuff together that he needs to do
Yeah.
before he got back.
Oh wow.
Like on his either on his way or doing. No, it was early because it was. I saw it go out about 7:30 this morning, and that would have been where he was at. That would have been 5:30. So I don't know if he planned that. Maybe he tweeted. Maybe he had those on a timer. I don't know if he had the tweets on a timer or not.
Maybe.
But at any rate, I appreciate him bunches, a whole lots. Because he was able to get that going while he was gone from us.
I'll appreciate it when he's back.
Yeah, I appreciate it when he's back, too. He's always easier to get in here, although we did pretty good. I think we missed a few seconds here.
Yeah.
Actually, the funny thing, that they ran that song, and it was just about as perfect for me to get ready to do this. So anyway, that was pretty wild.
Thanks, Eminem.
Sure. Okay. Bruce thanks you, not me. Anyway, well, Bruce, I know you were not in town today.
I was not.
I know you're working on a little sleep.
Yeah, I started to send you a text because I knew Guru wasn't going to be, or may not be here. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be here.
No plans to be here.
And I started texting him like, "Hey, I might be a little late," and I was like, "I'm not even going to worry him. I'm just going to do my best."
You
to
could
make
have
it.
done that. That wouldn't have been.
Just opening the show by yourself, and it's not like you hadn't done it before. It's just been a while.
I know, but I mean, that wouldn't have been the end of the world. That would have probably been par for the course here lately. What I mean by the things that's happening this week, it just seems like, ugh.
Well,
so anyway,
I'll tell you, Hyatt Hotels is not having a good week.
Hyatt,
and they're just one of many, right? that we'll get to. They've discovered a card data breach at 41 of their properties. So I'll say this. Most likely you're not affected if you're listening. The properties were affected in 11 countries, where guess who had the most?
I'm going to take a stab in the dark. Russia.
Close. China.
Oh, China.
Had
okay.
18 properties.
China.
The most, that were impacted. 7 properties were affected in the U.S., including 3 in Hawaii. So if you've been to Hawaii recently, 3 in Puerto Rico.
Wow.
And 1 in Guam. So I'm kind of curious. I guess it couldn't happen extremely recently with Puerto Rico. It had to have been, weeks ago that this happened at least.
Really?
Yeah. Because I doubt they're getting any data from them right now, unless it's all in paper, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
So, they're just one of many that have had a bad week here in tech.
Right.
So, if you've stayed with Hyatt, just double check, make sure you've not been affected. Hopefully they will, send out a breach notification, which I'm checking my Hyatt account right now just to see. Because I can't remember who I stay with mostly. It's either Hyatt, Hilton, or Marriott. I've got all of them. And IHG. I forgot about IHG. Need to check that one too. I think they were affected last year around this time. So, of course, we've had another one that their story it's the story that never ends.
Yes, it is.
Poor. Can we say poor?
What do you mean?
Equifax.
Oh,
man.
Yeah, we'll be covering them too.
Yeah. So
when we dig into that. So we got the breaches. Got a little bit of bad security habits going on, clearly.
Somebody's got their breeches on.
Yeah, they got bad breaches.
Caught with their breeches down.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. That's unfortunate.
I heard a really good quote, and I'll have to find it during the break.
Okay.
That I'm probably going to start using, but I want to make sure I get it exactly right. But it has to do with all kind of this just poor security practices going on.
Okay. By the way, 256-782.
5600.
And you could be on the Hey Techies show. Also, you can watch us.
If you want to.
My back and Bruce's face, such as
That's
it is.
That's what everybody comes for anyway, right?
HeyTechiesShow.com, right from the website. And, of course, questions at Hey Techies Show. And we will be glad to take your questions. And if my eye catches this little green light over here.
I was going to say, we might take your call tonight.
We might.
Again, like last week.
Be fabulous if we did.
He's got to keep his head on a swivel.
That's true. Head is on a swivel. But anyway. So I got a couple of little side things, not really tech-related to do. A little bit of housekeeping, if you will. Okay. Yes.
Administrative duties.
Yeah, my daughter, Rachel, will be turning 12 on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
And so weeks ago when my son turned 17, I got at the end of the show because we had a rough start. Yeah. And at the end of the show, I wished him a happy birthday. Well, she made sure that she was going to have a radio happy birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Rachel. And a side note, Rachel still loves the story of your daughter and
the Alexa.
The Alexa. She says, how did that go again? And I'll have to tell. Yeah. And she thinks it's hilarious.
She goes, so it's her alarm goes off. And I hear, Alexa, stop.
There you go, Rachel. Happy birthday. No, really, that is funny, but happy birthday to my darling Rachel, 12 years old on Sunday. So
12 was a good age.
They're all good.
Sure.
They're all good. The terrible twos can be stretch on into the threes and the fours sometimes.
I hear they can.
But anyway, and
thankfully
let's see.
I've not.
And I thanked Guru. That was the other thing I wanted to make sure. I thanked Guru for his efforts while he was gone. Both weeks, by the way. I didn't get to thank, but I just wanted to do that and tell little Rachel happy birthday. And yes, we've had some crazy stuff going on at our work on the old side where I actually make a paycheck. And basically, the long story short is Windows decided that they would go blue all of a sudden. Not everything, but I've heard stories that there's some companies, they have hundreds of machines in this situation. And most of the recovery is all manual, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. I also have a story that I just remembered. I got to make me a quick note here about a friend of mine who was trying to get a Dell product fixed. And what they sort of told her was odd. I didn't really ever think that something inside the computer would not be under warranty during the warranty.
What was not under warranty?
I'll tell you later. You'll have to wait. I was surprised.
Can I guess?
You can guess, but how about if we wait a few more minutes and then we'll let everybody wonder exactly what I'm talking about, and maybe you could call in and you could guess what I might be talking about.
256-782-5600.
Hey Techies Show. Be right back. Bruce playing his air drums.
That's right.
Except without the air parts. Just no sticks.
Yeah, no sticks. Desk drum set. So the quote I was talking about earlier was, and I'll get this as accurate as possible, is extraordinary ignorance is undistinguishable from malice. When do we decide that with all these breaches that are going on? And all the stuff that they're trying to do in the government with technology in general and encryption and
so it's just basically a malice is what they're
yeah,
laying it down.
pretty much. I just don't understand the DOJ trying to rebrand weekend encryption as responsible encryption. You just wonder when is this ignorance or malice? I can't tell the difference.
Yeah, well,
but then you look at the stuff with Yahoo, Equifax. I don't really know the whole how it happened for Hyatt.
Right. Well,
but you know, it's kind of like, do you even have any defenses there?
I don't know. I would say that a part of me wants to say that some of this is trying to apply
illogical decisions.
Okay, trying
things.
to apply political reasoning or political ideals, if you will.
Maybe that's it. Ideals.
Political ideals, if you will, on technological things.
Sure.
Which,
maybe.
Well, I'm going to stretch.
Think about that.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, I'm saying some of it. I'm
sure.
saying some of it.
Yeah.
It's like taking a dolphin expert, okay, and asking the dolphin expert to design a 100-story building. I mean, they don't know anything about designing a 100-story building. They might can make the outside pretty with dolphin art.
Yeah.
But my point is, we're putting people, and I'm sort of, I guess I'm going out on a limb here. I think we're putting people in places that don't know much about technology.
Oh, I agree. And some
and
of it's,
I want to make a statement here.
Okay.
I want to make a statement here, just real quick.
Okay.
In my opinion, I don't care who's in the White House. This has been going on for a long time.
I totally agree.
All across every one of them.
I agree with that.
We're putting in some of these ideas are kooky. I mean, there's really a bad.
Kookie's a word.
I understand the idea of wanting to make people safe. I get it.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yes.
But we got to be careful on how we infringe on things like encryption and individuals' privacy.
Yes. And let me see if I have the article up. I've gotten so disgusted with a lot of this.
Yes, I know you have. And I have not forgotten. I'm not off topic. I'm going to get to my Dell story in a minute.
Okay, yeah. And I need to make a guess. I need to remember what it was.
I'll repeat it, of course. But yeah, I know you told me before the show, and you were a little agitated about this. Of course, I understand. It's not that I don't get agitated. I guess I'm to the point now where I'm expecting some of this. It just doesn't shock me.
Never mind.
What?
The Russians, I want to say, did a study on this. In the 70s.
The Russians.
Yes, and there's a word for this, and somebody out there is yelling it, and they know what it is, and I'll think of it before the end of the show, hopefully. But like that's the whole thing. It's conditioning, right?
Yeah.
To get you to think, well, this is just normal.
Well, no, I agree with that, but I don't think it's not me thinking it's normal. It's
expecting it.
It's me not It's me expecting
what should be unexpected.
Yeah, I guess is what I'm saying. It's not agreeing with it at all. I think that we should definitely, without a doubt, protect one's individual right to privacy as far as we can.
Yes.
However, I don't think that it goes. It's not without its fallacies.
So their argument is that there should not be. Hold on, let me just use their words exactly. There should not be law-free zones, and they think encryption is a law-free zone.
Actually, Obama made the same argument too.
I agree.
In a interview one time.
Yes,
We played it on the show.
Yeah, and I was livid about it. But there is no regulation on safe manufacturers. If they wanted to create a safe that was unbreakable, granted that is a unicorn right now, right?
Yeah,
that's what they try to do. Lock manufacturers try to do that. Make a lock that's
that you can't. No one can get in, right?
Yes, and except for the person that has the key. There's no backdoor key, just that one key. But they also say that there's no constitutional right to warrant-proof encryption. But he concludes with a thought, and this is Rosenstein, and I want to say I know he's a high-ranking DOJ official. Did they actually say? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't, because his words to me don't matter, except they're ignorant. He said there's no constitutional right to sell warrant-proof encryption. Well, there's nothing that says they can't either.
You talking about Rod Rosenstein?
Yeah.
Oh, he's the Deputy Attorney General.
Okay. There you go. If our society chooses to let businesses sell technologies that shield evidence even from court orders, it should be a fully informed decision. I could create evidence right now and destroy it, and it would be evidence that could be kept away from court orders.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that.
And the thing is, and we've said this so many times in the past, it doesn't matter what you outlaw.
Yes,
it's not gonna. It is only gonna protect those.
Yeah.
That you're trying to catch. Like you're making
I get it.
The people that you don't have to worry about susceptible to everything.
I think the best statement is locked doors keep out honest people.
Yeah, and that's what they're wanting. I don't want a locked door.
Yeah.
I want something that nobody can open. Only I can open. And one-time padded pass,
Yeah.
those have been around forever.
Right.
Like, this isn't something new.
No, I know. I agree with you. I understand what you're saying.
It is just more accessible than it was in the past.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, they need to leave it alone. Because
I agree.
Because they're going to be met with force that they can't reckon with. I'll guarantee you that.
Aliens?
Whatever you want to call it.
Sorry.
Because I guarantee you the tech community will not stand for it. And we will use it and say, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And theoretically, yeah, it can be broken. Theoretically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, somebody got into an iPhone.
Yeah, and they never told us what was in it. You know why? Because there was nothing.
They're probably what.
They spent $1.3 million, which there was a FOIA request for that, and
right.
Both of it was who it was and how much they paid was denied on matters of national security.
Well, I mean,
for
me, I know you say they got nothing. I don't know whether they did or not.
They got nada.
Well, you think they didn't. You believe they didn't, but there's no proof one way or the other.
It'll leak. Well, you know what? By their same logic, then
I'm not defending. I'm just saying
that should be the FOIA request. There should be no protections around it. Well, we asked for it. It is our right as a citizen to know what I've paid for.
It's a double-edged sword.
Oh, it works where they want it to work.
Yeah, I know. I got you.
Just like everything that they make. Insider trading, well, that doesn't apply to us. Doesn't apply to Congress.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We know about all this. I mean, we've got to be able to know. You could just be ethical and not.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. You talking to the choir on that one now.
I agree.
Ethical.
That's what I'm telling you.
Ethics. Just got to find something.
Done with this. When people are going to wake up and realize.
Yeah, well.
So moving back on to tech.
That was about tech.
It was, but just getting me away from
But back to my Dell story.
Yes, okay. So
back to my Dell story. So
what would not be covered?
Well, apparently that's what they said. I don't believe them.
Under the manufacturer warranty.
Under the warranty.
Of 1 year.
Of 1 year. Which was only months into it.
And it's inside the computer.
That's what the way they explained it to me, I'm going to tell you what it is in a minute, but yes, I thought it was inside the computer. I was surprised that they had this much trouble out of Dell to even to discuss it. I mean, it looks like it's a no-brainer.
Inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd have to physically take
yes.
Is it a laptop?
Yes, laptop, sorry.
I'd have to physically take the laptop apart to get to it. Okay. So it's not the power cord. Because I was like...
No, I mean, that's a given. I already know those have about 90 days.
Yeah. So I'm going to...
But even at that, I still think when they called, it was just... You're close, by the way.
Well, I was thinking it's going to be like the power adapter on the inside or something.
Yeah. I think it's the power connector.
The power connector.
On the inside. It's the way... it's not charging anymore.
And it's not covered.
And they said...
And it's soldered to the motherboard.
That's what I couldn't understand. I said, that just can't be right.
Replace the motherboard.
I told the person, I said, you need to call them back and get somebody else because that just can't. I just cannot. They bought it at Best Buy.
Yeah.
But it's a Dell product. And I said, nah.
It's still covered by the manufacturer.
You would think so. I just was surprised. Because they were told that it wasn't. I was like, well, maybe somebody doesn't understand what you're talking about.
Maybe they thought they damaged it and that it's not a manufacturer defect.
Well, I mean, I could understand that, but how would you know until you take it apart? Unless they say there's no pin in there or the pin's bent or something. Maybe I could see.
Did they have to take a picture and send it to them?
I don't know. That's a good question. So I mean, it's possible Dell is correct, but I found it fascinating.
I don't think that's right.
Well,
so before you get your pitchforks and torches.
No, right. Dell, I know. I'm not even coming from that aspect.
I was getting ready.
No, I don't know. Something was up with that.
Yeah, I think they should. I think, like you said, they need to recall.
That's what I told them.
They probably got somebody that just didn't care that day.
Yeah. Although I'll have to tell you this, I did get someone who cared when I called Apple this week.
Oh, of course.
I did. This nice lady from Washington State.
Walla, Washington.
Yeah, who now lives, by the way, in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
So when I called and was telling him where I was calling from, and she said, oh, y'all are right down the road. I said, oh, no.
Yeah.
I said, no, we're
It's
not.
a really long road.
It's a really
but-
long road. I said, this is Alabama. She said, oh, yeah. She said, actually, I've heard of that area.
Yeah.
Where you're.
They get it confused down there with us all the time, right?
Yeah, I told, but she was super nice. It may have been the nicest conversation I've ever had on the having
Just
to
pleasant,
having to get
conversation,
having to get something sent back.
Yeah.
So that they could get a repair. I mean, really, she was very nice. Her name was Natalie. And anyway, it's the reason I'm bringing this up is you've been in those conversations. You can't hardly understand most of them, but she was an American, well-spoken. Now this is up on the pro line.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're gonna.
Oh yeah.
Most of the time, you end up getting that. Nothing off on somebody who can't speak great English. That's not what I'm talking about. But
there's a lot of stuff that's lost in translation.
That's what I'm talking about. When you're frustrated and you're trying to explain something to somebody, but they are either having trouble understanding it, or you're having a trouble understanding them, it can be very difficult.
With something that is technical.
With something that's technical, right? We're not talking about chewing gum the wrong way here. We're talking about explaining technical issues. So yeah.
Well, I'll say this: I definitely prefer chat.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's true.
And I have with some of the pro support, they're like, well, you have this own special 1-800 number you can call. What do you want to call them or continue the chat? And I'm like, don't even give me the option to call. Just chat. Here's the issue. Here's your support file. Here's everything you need. Here's the address you need to send the part to. And I can continue doing work while I'm like, here's this. And, of course, they're always like, give me a few minutes to review. And I'm like, take your time.
Yeah. Well, she did go on. She put me on hold several times.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah, with stuff like that, and that's why I would definitely prefer chat. Because I'm like, take your time, whatever. Because usually, and let's be honest, people that at home that may not understand how a lot of these, whenever you call in or chat online,
right?
Like whenever you're chatting with somebody online, they probably got 6 or 7 other people they're chatting with.
It's possible.
That's why you're like, why are they not answering me right now? And it's like because they're talking to this other because they're under extreme pressure. Like you gotta remember, like these companies tried to squeeze as much production. Yeah. Out of that machine, that person, as they can.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, you need to be able to handle 3 or 4 conversations at the same time. Does that work? And you're like, I'll take chicken for lunch, please. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, can you not handle 4 questions and conversations at the same time?
Yeah. So I can see that.
I would love to be on an interview for that. That would be good. I would mess with them so bad.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We're going to need you to handle multiple conversations at the same time. I agree, David. I think it's unfair they took the rotary engine out.
Start up another conversation. I'm doing two conversations.
But absolutely, I can handle multiple conversations at the same time.
Sure. I can't. I don't know about that one. We talked about Microsoft, and we sort of skimmed over it.
To them, yeah.
We've got to get into that, but if you happen to have Windows 10 for sure, and I actually think it happened on maybe a couple of other OSs. I know 8.8 Windows 8 it possibly did too. For those of you that still have Windows 8, anyway. But Windows 10 it definitely did, and it affected us for sure. Yes, Tuesday. Actually Wednesday. I'm sorry, it sort of happened Tuesday evening, Wednesday, and this morning. And I imagine there'll be some stragglers come tomorrow too. I'm expecting to have a few more.
Oh, people that just haven't restarted.
Or whatever. Yeah.
I wonder if they can retroactively fix that.
There is.
Oh, this one's waiting in queue.
There is a way. I understood.
Well, no, I'm saying automated.
Yeah, I think there is.
Okay.
I think there is. I think you can, if you like I was getting into, if you point it to a Windows Update server, then yes, I think you can do that. Many of the Windows Update servers, if the computer did not get the patch before 4 p.m. Tuesday evening, then I think they were good. Because at that point, I'm not sure if that's Eastern time. I don't remember, but at any rate. Patch Tuesday was quite the event, and sometimes it is. I thought about something today when I was dealing with these. Actually, yesterday I said, the one day,
Yeah.
if you're a Mac hater, okay, if you're a Mac hater,
I only can think of one person.
well, I can think of a lot of them, but if you're a Mac hater, the one day that you really want to own a Mac is on Windows Update Day. Because it just seems like that they're going to break something. Almost every time, every month, every time, it's going to break something. And, of course, this happened. This was a little worse than most. Sometimes, they break this out of there, but your whole machine boots. This is a no-booter. I mean, you got blue screen, most people call it the blue screen of death, and I guess technically you would think.
I thought they changed it to green.
Well,
and I was really sad about that because I was like, green's my favorite color, and they're gonna ruin it.
You're gonna ruin green now.
People are gonna hate green.
Just blue and well, the old blue screen of death per se. You couldn't do anything. It was basically a memory dump.
It was like,
and just reboot it.
Here's an error code.
At least now, when you get some of these on the boots, it tries to do a repair, although repair is usually terrible now and never does anything.
Repair's never been good.
I know it's never been good. And then you have another screen that pops up that gives you options to do.
Yeah.
You can
return to store.
You can reboot. Yeah, you can pack it up and return it back to the store. That's one option. Erase your data completely.
Yeah.
I did have a weird issue where a person came back in the next day. This was yesterday. And their machine had gone backwards and had uninstalled everything that was installed on that machine. All they had was data left. I didn't know it would do that automatically.
Do what?
Yes, you know how you can.
So it just uninstalled all their applications.
Yes, there's a reset, a refresh for Windows,
but it left
10.
all the data.
But and that's what that does. And this is what this did. Now they claimed they didn't do anything. They said they came in and it was this way. And so I don't know, but I had to put all the data. I had to put all the products back on it. I had to put all the application back on it. Not kidding. I mean,
Microsoft
removed.
Oh crap! Take this out. Does it work yet? No, it doesn't. Take all this.
It removed everything. No joke. And that was one incident. But basically, there was a few steps you could take, and a Reddit user actually posted it first. On sysadmin.
On sysadmin, yeah.
And if it wasn't for our friend Ted of the show, he actually saw this and said, "Oh, that's cool." And then he rebooted, and his machine he said, "Oh, I might need that now."
Let me pull that up on my phone.
Yeah, I might need that now. So he found it.
What did they say to do?
Yeah, but several people actually had it, and actually some administrators had it. So, yeah.
I will say, what day was it?
What day? What was Tuesday evening?
It wasn't Tuesday. I want to say it was yesterday. I feel like there was maybe some internet issues.
Well, it was supposed to be patching a World Zero Day patch. Sorry about that. And part of that, I think, in my understanding, was the problem. Apparently, there was an incorrect description. I'm trying to read this real quick. My understanding was that they had one of the patches was the culprit, but you ended up removing 3 patches. It was based on the knowledge base 4041676. I know people are sleeping by now. And it's riveting, I know. But anyway, if you do have this issue, there is hope for you. There are several places out now and many articles published about how to fix the problem. And it is fixable. You don't have to format your computer, your hard drive, and start over. There really is a fix for it. So
it's sad.
Yeah. But in a related, pardon me, in related something, I was telling Bruce that I have found another article here. And let's see, this is from one of these Microsoft, let's see, Computer World. Sorry, Greg Kaiser from Computer World. Headline, Microsoft pleads for more enterprise Windows 10 insider recruits. And what they're referring to, and I'm not going to read much of this, but basically Microsoft has always asked, and a lot of other companies do too, they want insider build previews. So they have insider previews. You can download them. You can install them. They only work for a period of time. Usually they'll have a certain time where they are expire. There is sort of a license, but it's a lot of these sometimes are not necessarily all that usable, really. They have problems, and that's what they want people to do. They want people to try them. send back feedback. But a lot of that, they're saying that they're really having trouble getting users to use that. They have a lot less than they've ever had before. And so it's interesting to me because it makes me wonder if a lot of these individuals that would like this type thing are just tired of Windows. I mean, a lot of people have their problems with Windows 10. A lot of people have gotten really irritated at Microsoft for all the things they consider spying, whatnot, changing all the settings every time you do updates, especially firewall issues. We've seen that, and many other issues. But the thing is that the point is that they make here, you need to be looking at new features and figure out how to do. You want to deploy those new features. How do you want to implement those new features? How do you want to configure those new features? So, that's sort of how you get a pilot program. That's how you get people to do that. And a lot of times you can try things, but a lot of times now, and we've said it on the show before, Bruce, but a lot of this software now is beta, period. When it comes out, everybody's a beta tester. And then we roll out .1 and .2 and .3 in the next 2 weeks.
Kind of what Apple did.
Yeah, with Apple. I mean, they're definitely doing that. Yeah. There's no question about that. Well, Windows.
I have a theory about that, and we'll talk about it off air.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, afraid to offend somebody, huh?
No, definitely not that. It's a really good point, and
but you can't make it on air.
Well,
that's okay.
It's the way the industry's currently going, and there's positives and negatives to it. It has to do with agile development.
Agile development. Well, there you go.
So people that know what I'm talking about will be like, "Oh, I see where he's going with this." That's really all I need to say.
Agile development. Well, how agile is it?
Well, I think you're watching it.
I had one that I forgot to get in last week. I want to get in real quick. I put some things in here that I kind of wanted to brush over.
Which we covered a lot of these just before the show.
We didn't get them on the show, but Guru had sent one last week, and I felt terrible. He sent one about there's the Monopoly guy was bombing the Senate Equifax hearings.
Oh, we talked about that.
We did not before the show, Bruce. And he's back there dressed. He even has the what do you call the spectacle? The monocle. The monocle. Yeah. Sorry, thank you, Bruce. The monocle, and he sticks his head in there every now and then. Yeah, he got it. Anyway, it'll be in the show notes. He was an attorney. Yeah, that's right. And
he did a AMA. And it was pretty insightful stuff. Because people were just like, how did you know where to sit? And he was like, well, I've gone to a lot of these. Where they're going to sit the people, where the cameras are going to be. And, basically they probably got a junior partner or some intern to go down there and wait in line to get the seat and said, all right, here's my seat. Thanks. But yeah, I mean, so.
By the way, Mom, I meant to tell you something. Apparently, according to this, Monopoly guy was a gal.
I thought it was a he.
Well, according to this, and now I kind of see that. According to this, Amanda Werner of Americans for Financial Reform.
I'm going to have to look that up because I swear it was a dude. Not that I'm taking anything away from it.
Maybe I'm reading this the wrong way.
You might be right, though. But I thought, I'll have to look it up. Because I'm pretty sure that it was a...
Well, according to this, it was a young lady. Now,
okay.
And now looking at this picture... I mean, it's a fake mustache and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a very young person. I say
Well, anyway.
20s to 30s.
Anyway, this is what it says. Who also handed out Monopoly-style get-out-of-jail-free cards.
Yeah.
Hope Guru's okay. I hadn't heard from him. He was planing it back.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look and see. If it was a lady, I apologize for saying he. What?
Well, at any rate, this article
That was an odd time laugh.
This,
He wasn't
yes, it
laughing at what I
was.
saying.
This article, let's see, was written by Liz Moyer, and I'm not sure of this source. That didn't print out.
So we got
CNBC.
Do we got time to talk about Western Digital? What they've announced?
We're gonna have to hold that on.
All right.
We'll do it when we come back.
It's amazing.
It is amazing, and we would like for everyone to hear about it for sure. We'll try to talk about and explain it. It is some neat stuff coming out in the future. So the Hey Techies Show will be right back after these quick, short messages. Hey Techies Show. Welcome back into the Hey Techie Show. Michael and Bruce, your lovable tech host tonight. This is what we should do. Just run really low techno music right there behind us while we talk.
Do that the entire time.
I don't know nothing about them.
You don't know Prodigy? Man,
I apologize.
Yeah.
Firestarter, yeah.
I like that song.
Well, apparently so.
Oh, because I was drumming to it too?
Oh, sure. You were air drumming everything. Yeah.
So,
I was trying to get this.
Now can we talk about Western Digital?
What has gotten into you? Yes, go for it. Bruce, go for it. Western Digital.
Well, I mean, I was reading this. They have a explain like I'm 14-ish, which I thought was kind of funny. But Western Digital is announced something amazing for storage.
Absolutely.
Now this is using spinning disk. This isn't
still spinning,
state.
Right?
And I want to say about a year ago, we even discussed on the show talking about Hammer,
right?
The heat assisted,
right?
Magnetic. What's the R? Right. Writable disk,
which was going to really improve space.
Yeah, so they're supposed to be able to increase because we've gotten the larger capacities because part of the issue was the air in it. So they filled it with helium and now they're able to, right down to smaller levels.
Yes.
So the next thing was they're getting so small that what they're using, I mean, basically they're writing to this just so small piece of metal that there's not enough energy to change the magnetism because it's just so small.
Right.
So they were like, well, if we heat it up a little bit, it makes it easier and not as much energy is needed. Well, the last thing you want to do with hard drives is introduce more heat.
Sure.
So they have come up with, where that was heat assisted, now they've come up with microwave assisted. And they are touting that they can get hard drives up to 40 terabytes. That is insane. And they're saying the first, I'm trying to remember what the first set they're going to come out with, but it's insane. And there's definitely people that need this because 4K video and 8K video, all this.
Oh yeah,
we'll just say HD video in general
Right.
uses a ton of space.
That's right.
But at some point, when do we decide it is time to purge data? Like, how long do you want to keep? But of course, like there's records. City halls keep records. There's libraries that keep records. For centuries, they've got stuff. At what point do we decide we don't need to hold on to this data any longer?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we are producing an amazing, and I mean that in the truest sense of the word, an amazing amount of data.
Right.
It's and just what we're doing with technology too, like the fact that they were able to do this. I mean, and it's also getting the processing chips, the transistors are getting so small that they're gonna soon run into quantum tunneling, and it's just like, how amazing are humans?
Yeah.
To come up with this garbage.
Well, I mean, it's definitely a good point.
I mean, and I say garbage, and I mean, I just don't know what else to say because it's just insane. It is insane. The
how someone thought this.
Yes, like
I got it.
It's garbage because it's like it's so freaking genius. Oh man!
But it has a little oscillating head.
Yes, it does.
On it.
Man, it's just amazing.
They call it the STO, spin torque oscillator, and it generates the microwaves. Now, the frequencies, Bruce, as you were mentioning, are 40 to 20 gigahertz.
I'm telling you,
40 to 20.
If we voted some of these same people that solve these problems into
only
politics, vote those type of people in office.
Now, the only problem I have with this, I'm just concerned that the FCC will want to sell that data, those bands, out from underneath. I mean, they're going to have to be careful how far they...
Aren't they getting ready to sell the 3 gigahertz band?
One day your hard drive just won't work because they've sold your frequency, and it's against the law. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But seriously...
I'm sure that would fall in the range of personal use.
Yeah, I never assume anything.
Nanometers,
nanometers
of. But yeah, so it's insane.
Well, the thing that's going to be interesting, it will allow it to have much higher density. Okay, so the point is, if they had to completely redesign the drive, then they might have to redesign enclosures, and they might have to redesign connections and interfaces. This, according to what we're reading, this would allow them to continue with the current technology, just to not redesign the wheel, basically, of hard drives. And that's the way I understand it. And I may be wrong on that, but I think that's the way I understand it. But I think now the thing is, they're hoping to have this technology marketed around 2019 or 2020, and the idea of the 40 terabyte, they're throwing that out there around 2025.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking it was 2022.
Well, this article says 2025. You may have found one.
You're probably right.
That says 2022.
It may have been what I was hoping.
But that doesn't mean the article's correct, because we know about those.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, all of it's speculation anyway, right?
That's true. But it would be pretty amazing.
Yeah. What would be amazing is if they get double that out of what they were expecting.
40 terabytes. I mean, 80. That's what I meant. Yeah. 80 terabytes.
Yeah, that would be insane. I don't know. Like that is granted, yes, when it comes to this video, like that's okay. 40 terabytes, great. Can I have like 10 of those?
Right.
Because people are going to fill it up. But I'm thinking about like documents.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
You're right, I know.
That is insane.
I know a lot of people are saying that 40 terabytes, man, I know we'll never use that.
Oh, yeah.
But.
Yeah, you would.
Well, I know most people don't think they wouldn't. I mean, I understand that, but I really think these would be more along the lines of slow disk storage.
Oh, yeah. This is definitely for enterprise.
For server enterprise.
This is definitely for enterprise.
Yeah.
Will you see a consumer I
think you could probably
expensive consumer.
I think you probably could see this do something. Well, I don't know. This is a dual sword in a way because it's not solid state. So the reason I'm bringing that up is I don't think this is going to have a lot of effect on price on solid state drives.
No.
Because
this is definitely slow storage. It's not something that always needs to be accessed, right? It is for archiving.
Correct.
So
anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
I think there was a thought that some of the newer technologies that come out in this area might drive solid state down, but I don't see that. I mean, solid state is coming down to an extent.
Well, I was going to say right now it's at a high.
Yeah, but I mean, but I'm talking about some of the lower disk sizes are down. The ones that are higher are the higher disk sizes. But you can get a decent lower disk for a reasonable amount of money.
Yeah.
Compared to a spinning drive. But then you're not going to get a terabyte. You're going to get 80 gigs, 100 gigs, 128.
I was going to say 128, 256.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what you need now run your OS and some applications.
Yeah.
But it's just, to me, man, that is...
Oh, yeah, it's going to be fabulous. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be interesting to watch that over the next many years.
I guess the way I'm thinking of it is the amount of hard drives I see in a data center now, if I were to replace every single one of those with a 40 terabyte disk.
Okay, right. So just I wasn't going to take this here, but I just thought I might. So right now is 2017. We're working on 2018.
We're basically there.
The way technology advances in all the advancements that happen, it's still conceivable between now and 2019 when they predict they may have one of these devices available, that somebody else stumbles across something that even goes further.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, we had this you and I had this discussion last week, Blu-ray or HD.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Seagate's going to have something, and
they have talked about there are other technologies out there. The question is, I mean, and of course, holographic. They have tried forever to consider.
Well, at some point, they're going to have to change. Like what I was saying, the whole you're getting. I mean, at some point, you can only get so much out of that space,
right?
By adding, I think we're at the maximum amount of platters we can add, and we can't pack that data any finer on the atoms that they're sitting on.
Yeah. That we know of.
Well, my thing is the material's gonna have to change.
Correct. Right. A whole redesign.
Yeah.
It's got to be some kind of other type product.
And the closest thing we have to that right now is flash memory.
Right.
But, at some point, what's the next thing? Like.
Right.
I think at some point you're going to have to say we're done with spinning drives.
Yeah. I agree.
But if they keep coming out with stuff like this, you make a case for it.
For certain type of applications.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
I know.
But that's the majority.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I mean, when you're talking about...
when you got a data center in Utah that keeps all the data. And
correct. I mean, when you're talking about Amazon storage...
NSA is just like, oh, this is great.
I mean, when you're talking about Amazon storage where, they might have... passwords that are in clear text and somebody leaked, left it unsecure.
Happens all the time. Which
think about 40 terabytes of data stolen.
Amazon's getting better at that. Like they are starting. Granted, it's not Amazon's responsibility.
Well, no, I was fixing to say I'm not blaming Amazon.
Yeah, it's not Amazon.
It's the people who have the bucket there.
Yes,
but it's on top of Amazon.
But Amazon's working to say, all right, we have a problem. People are irresponsible.
Yes.
Is it irresponsible or is it malice?
There we go.
But we're going to start searching for this stuff, and if we do, we're going to notify them. And maybe if they don't respond to the notification, you lock it. I don't know. Like, what do you do in that situation? They're going to have to build it into their EULA for sure.
To their EULA?
Yeah.
You must have secure passwords.
Well, not that. Like, don't leave that stuff exposed.
Yeah, I know, but that's the point. I mean, even some of them, I think, were not very secure passwords. where they did have passwords. I'm not talking about the ones that were leaked. I'm talking about how you got into it.
Oh yeah.
That was what was, sort of like having a password that's password and all that. I'm not saying that's it. I'm just saying something very easy for even machine learning to figure out.
Yeah.
By the way, this is another one of those I didn't get to cover last week, and no, this is not. This is brand new. I apologize. I was telling Bruce before the show, Roku has a new channel.
Oh yeah, I want to go check
And by
this
the
out.
way, it is lovingly named the Roku channel. And on the Roku channel, they're going to have free movies ad-supported. And some of these are included Lionsgate, MGM, Paramount, Sony Pictures Entertainment, and Warner Brothers.
How did we not know about this?
Well, it says 10/12 was the... I don't know.
But I'm saying we didn't have a rumor for this.
Well, I
we
know.
didn't have nothing.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess we didn't have the guru here looking these things
that's
up.
the thing.
Yeah.
But it's called the Roku channel. Yeah, the Roku channel.
Right.
How about that right there? Let's see. Details. Give me the deets. Not on NBA. I need it on the Roku channel.
On the Roku channel. You need it on the Roku channel.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you'll have to download it and tell us how it works.
I am. All free. Hundreds of Hollywood hits.
There
All
you
free
go.
and available to watch whenever you want.
Well, there you go.
I would like to know what some of them are.
You know what we have coming up, don't you?
Our dose.
Our dose coming up. The Hey Techies Show will be right back. Welcome to our
dose
of the Hey Techies show. It is me, Michael, and your absolutely lovable host, Bruce, on the Hey Techies show. And, of course, no guru this hour either, unfortunately.
Have we heard from him?
I have not heard from him.
Has he landed?
I assume he landed.
Does he have feet on the ground?
I'm sure he does. I haven't. He's probably so tired he went home and laid down.
I do not blame him, because I was like, man, if he comes to the show, that is some dedication.
No, I knew he wasn't going to make it to the show.
Oh, well, I mean, on the calendar, it said late, possibly not making it.
I knew
and
he
I was
like,
let's
see. Let's show interruption. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see if he got home.
I'm just curious, because if he was gonna come in, I was like, man, I can't ever miss a show again. It's like, sorry, I've been traveling all week or all day, like, and I just rolled in. It's like, can I just go home?
No. Oh, we wanted to
grow with
finish. We didn't get to finish. By the way, some Roku devices will be able to access this channel, apparently. It does say Roku devices from 2011, manufactured after 2011. But Bruce was thinking that it may even be limited further. I don't see that totally listed in here.
We were talking about the Roku stuff?
Yes, the Roku channel.
I told it to install, so we'll see how many devices it's installed on when I get home.
Okay, he is back. Guru's back in town, and he is going home. Super Guru. Excellent. Okay.
Well, I'll say this. He's coming from the ATL.
Yes.
Traffic was pretty bad.
Was it?
Yes, whenever I was coming home this afternoon, and plenty of police officers out, because there's a lot of construction going on.
Wow. And this right here is definitely something that we didn't talk about last week, and I wanted to talk about, and even my son brought it up to me, and I was like, yes, son, I know. And it's kind of funny, Bruce, if you'll notice the headline on this, they took the Stranger Things headline and the logo and put pricier things. And some of you saying, I already know about this. Well, yeah, but we didn't get to cover it last week.
We thought we did.
No, I don't think so.
No, we thought we did, but we just covered it before the show.
Probably.
There's a lot of stuff we cover. You people should
show
show up
Netflix,
earlier.
Netflix subscriber, it's going to go up. And so if you like me and you have one of the premium tier plans, it's going to $11.99 to $13.99. Apparently, the $7.99 plan will be staying put for now. They're saying
for now. I'll say this: they're losing a lot of they're losing a lot of material because everybody's taking their stuff.
Well, I noticed, it's a couple of the shows my family likes to watch has been moved from that to Amazon.
Really?
Amazon picked it up.
Huh.
Yeah.
So,
or the network that was supplying it took it off for whatever
that's
reason.
The thing. Yeah. So the agreements have ended. They're not renewing them.
Right.
Because they're like, we're going to go start our own thing.
Right.
So that's leaving Netflix to develop their own stuff.
And they have, they've had a couple that have done okay.
Yeah, they've had quite a few, more than what you realize, I think.
Well, that's probably true because I don't watch all of them.
Yeah, because we were having that conversation before the show. I was like, this one and this one and this one. But anyways, so it's their ability to just go out and purchase these agreements. It's costing them a lot more to develop their own stuff.
I saw a rumored report, and I want to say rumored because this just seems like such a big number. So okay, here we go. It was some kind of they're saying the Netflix budget next year will be $7 billion
for show development.
Netflix content budget. Sorry, I should have put
Netflix content budget. That's
$7 billion.
But that doesn't necessarily mean producing their own. That's just
I wondered about that.
Right?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
So that means how many subscribers do they have? If that's their budget, they've got to have.
I was trying to work on that,
right?
And I did not see. It did not give a subscriber amount in this article, unfortunately. We looked that up one time before. if I'm not mistaken.
100 million subscribers.
According to Google.
CNN. Money
According
CNN.
to okay, we'll go with that.
Firsttogetitwrong.com.
Money first to get it wrong.
We need to fix that. I mean, somebody needs to fix that.
So 100 million.
100 million subscribers as of April 17th.
So to make this easy, 100 million subscribers at an average of $10. Uh-oh.
No, you're fine. I'm sorry.
100 million subscribers, average of $10.
Yeah, so that's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Yeah. But wait.
I mean, it wouldn't be enough.
Why are we saying averaging $10?
Well, because some are still on $7.99 plans, and
so
some
that's $8.
Some are still are going to be paying $13.99. So I'm just going. Well, okay. So you could maybe
I still don't see how that would.
Would you, so 12?
You said $7 billion, right?
I know. I didn't say that would add up to it. What did I? I keep getting eat up with some. What I mean, I'm getting text and tweets.
Yeah, that's what it was too. Because I mean, 100
you
million
weren't getting tweets, but
I wasn't getting tweets. I was getting text. Because if it's 100 million, oh wait, that's a month. Never mind. That works out.
Yeah,
because that'd be $1 billion a month.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I was just going an average. It's probably more than that.
Yeah,
all I was doing is saying that okay, your lowest price is $7.99 and your highest now will be $13. And there are some $10.99 plans.
Yeah.
So you've got $7.99
at 10.
I was just going because I can add. I can add with 10.
Yeah,
I don't have to tell you.
So that's $1 billion a month.
Yeah, you could do 11.
So you got $12 billion. $12 billion a year.
Yeah. Approximately.
Yeah, but you're spending 7 of that.
Well, if that's the total budget, see, you're spending according to this
that is on content.
On content, the Netflix content budget.
I'm sure they spend. Oh man, I would think they spend a half. Probably, I don't know, because I wonder how much they spend on infrastructure. I would easily say $500 million, right, for infrastructure. Not that they own it, but renting
would make sense. Well. Now on the back end, I thought one time we discussed they are using Amazon servers now.
It seemed
like no, there's going to be a cost there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right. Okay, that's what I was making sure we were talking about. Okay. Yeah. So there,
I don't know, and I'll say this for larger organizations, there is an incentive to buy your own caching. So, like at a campus, kind of like not that we have it here. There's not enough in this area to warrant that. But I want to say, like, I know YouTube they will send like a local unit, and I mean there's no money that changes hands. It's mutually beneficial. So it's like we'll host it, we'll have the rack space for it, we'll have the internet, bandwidth required for it, and locally we just get stuff faster.
Right.
I'm kind of curious what Netflix does with that, because I know there's things you can buy yourself that will cache it for you. It will download Netflix content, store it locally, and serve it out to your community. I wonder how much they spend on that. I would love to see their books. Or just some line items. It'd be very interesting. I mean, I think it would be nice. Well, people could forensically go back and say, well, this is how much you're paying exactly for this one thing. People are that good.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh man, it would be interesting if they could give generic titles and numbers, say this is how much we're spending on this. And I mean, I guess you could kind of figure that out.
Sure.
Interesting.
Well, the Hey Techies Show will be right back after this really short, really, really tiny break. Be right back.
Let the music
Yeah, Bruce, we'll just let the music play.
Yeah, I like Lindsey Sterling, man.
Yeah, it's very good.
Could get lost. And oh yeah, we got a show to do.
Sure.
So I just read something very interesting that I did not realize. Razer, and not the thing you use on your face, but the company that makes the keyboards and mice that we so love and adore and use, is coming out with a phone. Did you know that?
No.
I don't know how. This is one we should really have a slipped under the radar section or something.
There you go. And this is our official slipped under the radar section.
They are apparently. We'll come up with a better name because that just seems too easy.
Oh, that Apple named it. Sorry.
Sponsored by Apple.
Sponsored by Apple. Right.
Razer's coming out with a phone, and apparently it's going to be announced on November 1st. I had no clue. I had no idea what it's going to look like. Apparently, it's going to have 6 gigs.
Now, is this
of
a home phone or
cell phone?
Just kidding.
It's a mechanical. It's a mechanical phone.
No, we're talking about RAZR, right?
Yeah, Razer.
The flip phone making.
Yeah. No. Like, hold on.
You're or the keyboard company.
The keyboard company.
Razer. Oh, I'm not.
RAZER.
Right.
Yeah.
RAZ.
Razer phone. No, not phone. Because it had their logo in the thing. Yeah. Razer's first smartphone might have 8 gigs of RAM. So I have really got to. Well, first I got to restart my computer. Apparently, man. I guarantee you, there's updates. Guarantee you.
A blue screen. He's gonna have to reboot his.
Yeah. Hey,
reboot his. Screen.
I would love for that to happen on air. I can just turn it and say, "It's on you, Microsoft." So yeah, I'm kind of curious. It's gonna have apparently.
Well, now wait a minute. Now I've got a different article, and it's back on July 21st.
Because you.
It says
Razer.
RAZER.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Reportedly plans to build a phone for gamers.
Yeah.
But needs more money. This was back July 21st was an
apparently
article.
They're doing it, and their announcement for the first phone is planned November 1st.
Wow.
Oh, they teased it. That is
a gamer phone.
I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, it might. I just wonder how much it's going to be.
How many?
I said this to somebody today.
How many brands of whatever can we keep up?
I don't know. I said this today that that it's dangerous what we're doing with phones. Because I can understand the cost of phones being a little bit more because of flash memory being expensive right now. But we're showing that we'll pay for it, right? And,
yeah, I'm not.
This is the new standard.
I'm not showing it. I'll pay for it.
At some point, you're gonna have to get a new one or do away with it. I would love to do away with phones. I would love to.
I'll wait till I can buy somebody's Pixel 1 off of them.
Well, this one's trading in.
Yeah, well, it won't be yours. My wife said maybe that'll reduce the Pixel 1 down, and you can go buy one of those.
Oh yeah, they'll definitely.
Yeah, I know.
And it's still a solid phone. It's still a solid.
Oh, I
phone.
know. Yeah, you're right. It's just not a Pixel 2 XL.
It won't be a Pixel 2 XL with front-facing speakers.
There we go, front-facing speakers. Which that's not a big deal to me.
I not realized how much I needed that until I didn't have it.
No, I got that. Just like my watch,
because I didn't
love my watch.
Yeah, I didn't think. I was like, I don't really listen to stuff that often or watch videos that often. And I was like, oh yeah, man, I really do, and I can't hear a freaking word they're saying because my hand's covering the mic. The one speaker that is supposedly loud, it's not. So I don't know. It doesn't carry well. So I'm excited. Hopefully it will be the same quality, at least the same quality that HTC had in the past. according to the reviews, they said that they did sound great, and at max volume, did not distort.
Okay.
So that's the biggest thing, is turning it up all the way, and is it distorting everything?
Okay.
It's one thing I like about my speaker system at home. It balances.
Well, they're also
stuff
saying
out.
that Huawei is supposed to have a P9.
Yeah,
April 6th.
I don't know if Huawei. I think Google gave them a chance, put them on the stage. They did great, and now they're fading. Maybe I'm wrong.
The specs on here are questionable.
On which one?
On this phone.
The Razer?
No, on this phone.
The Huawei?
If they're to be believed, this is odd to me.
I have to restart this. Oh, yeah, hey.
A 5.2, huh?
Update and restart.
A 5.
Because it won't let me see my. Well, let me
a
see my
5.2
I hate
inch.
you, Microsoft.
Okay, 1080p display.
Okay.
Octa-core Kirin 950. A Mali T88 graphics. 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigabyte of internal storage.
This is Huawei?
And a 3900
Is this
milliamp
a flagship phone?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
That seems very
Well,
low.
I did. That's what I was thinking too. Let's see. It's expected to have a pair of 12 megapixel cameras.
I don't know about that. That seems very low.
I know I'm pronouncing this wrong, but it's a really popular lens, and I wished I could continue to pronounce it Leica, and I should know it. Camera people are just, if they're listening to me, they're like, I really could just. It's not Leica, but that's what it sounds. That's what it reads like, but that's not how you pronounce it, I don't think. Anyway, they're gonna have those lenses. Those are very popular lenses among the pro camera, and I should know how to pronounce it.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
No.
Well, I'm trying to plan stuff for in the morning.
Oh, you got to.
I'll explain during the break.
No, you don't have to. You got to multitask, right?
Yeah, I do have to multitask, and I'm doing terrible at it because, like you said, I'm running on hardly any sleep.
Well, and your watch told you really hardly any sleep, right?
Yeah,
that was interesting.
It was interesting, and it was probably fairly accurate. Not the last part. It only counted that last part. It was what it was alerting me on. But in total, it was very little.
Really?
Yeah.
Trying to find maybe the article that you have on that Razer phone or something similar to it.
Well.
Oh, it said it might have 8 gigs of RAM.
Yeah,
Did
that's
you
what I
say
said.
that?
8
I'm
gigs of
sorry.
RAM.
See,
Yeah.
I must not have been listening to you.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. This thing's loaded.
It's returned. Yeah, well, my thing is, how expensive is it going to be?
Yeah, I know. I know you said that already.
And if it is geared to gamers, like they're going to be like, it's $1,000 phone at least. At least.
But don't gamers expect that kind of cost?
Well, yeah, but I feel like gamers are going to be like, I'll stick with my PC, right?
Well, I agree totally. I mean, why would a gamer want this phone other than it would be cool to have and it plays probably some amazing game that somebody will build for it? But
yeah.
I mean, you got to assume that's going to happen.
I don't know. We'll see. And I would much rather have I don't know. We'll see. I would much rather have something like the Switch. Then I'm like,
there you go.
Oh, my phone's my gaming system's about to die. I better hurry up and make this phone call.
Speaking of gaming,
I don't know. It'd have to have a huge battery. It would be a huge phone.
CNN Money has a report here, and the headline is exclusive. Even Pokemon Go used by extensive Russian leaked meddling effort. Now, this is what I find interesting.
Okay.
Apparently, according to CNN, the campaign titled Don't Shoot Us offers new insight into how Russian agents created a broad online ecosystem where divisive political messages were reinforced across multiple platforms, amplifying a campaign that appears to have been run from one source, the shadowy Kremlin-linked troll farm known as the Internet Research Agency.
When are people going to start questioning, is this our own propaganda?
But here's something interesting that I find fascinating that they put in here. Okay. Let me see if I can find it here. This is in the Don't Shoot Us campaign. the title of which may have referenced the hands up, don't shoot slogan that became popular in the wake of the shooting of Michael Brown, used these platforms to highlight incidents of alleged police brutality with what might have been the dual goal of galvanizing African Americans to protest and encourage other Americans to view black activism as a rising threat.
Okay.
According to this. They're saying the Facebook. I think
The Facebook.
that's what they call it.
The Facebook.
I'm serious. I can't. Who's writing this at CNN?
FirstToGetItWrong.com.
The Facebook.
First,
And I have heard other people call it that. Instagram and Twitter accounts belonging to the campaign are currently suspended. The group's YouTube channel and the website were both still active as of Thursday morning. The Tumblr page now posts about Palestine.
They're no longer allowed to put it out there on the line.
The Don't Shoot Us YouTube page, which simply titled Don't Shoot, contains more than 200 videos of news reports, police surveillance tape, and amateur footage showing incidents of alleged police brutality. These videos, which were posted between possibly May and December of 2016, have been viewed more than 368,000 times.
That's not very many. I thought you were going to say million.
No.
That's not many. 368,000.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
There are fledgling country artists that have that beat.
Yeah.
With their videos on YouTube. I mean, that's a lot. I wish we had that many, but still.
There's somebody.
And there is somebody else that has
some Judy chopping and some ninja chopping.
Yeah. This is interesting. I found this. I ran across this. But the point is, apparently, okay, let me get down to what I wanted. So apparently, the don'tshoot.us website, in turn, links to Tumblr account. And in July 16, this Tumblr account announced a contest encouraging readers to play Pokemon Go, the augmented reality game in which users go out into the real world and use their phones to find and train Pokemon characters.
I hate that that's pretty much done.
I said it was going to be a fad.
Well, I mean, everything is, right? These phones are
I actually think
fad.
exercise is a fad. Anything that encourages exercise will only work for so long.
Yeah, that's true. It did encourage exercise.
I know, but
like, wait a second.
But texting is so much more fun. Well, anyway, that's that. I'm not going to read the whole thing, obviously, for a lot of it, but it's interesting to me. Apparently, even Pokemon Go now has some connection with the Russian hack or influence, if you will.
Don't say influence.
I know what I'm saying. I'm just using what some other terms are saying.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's
that we joke
Did they
about.
hack the election.
The election of 2016. So anyway, there you go. You know, the Hey Techies Show, we cover all kind of angles. I like to cover a lot of different things.
That's sweet looking.
And what are you looking at now?
I'm back on Razor's website.
Oh my goodness, he's never gotten off of it. By the way, another update. You know the fires are going out in California. It's a terrible, sad thing. And this is a minor issue to even be bringing up. And I mentioned it early on how we had a lot of blessings. Nothing was on fire around us. The Associated Press is reporting that 80 cell phone towers were knocked out by fire. And I guess they're saying that because of that is making connecting with individuals very difficult, one can imagine. Can't receive text, can't make calls, can't send out warnings. Although I think someone pointed out in here, if you start smelling smoke, then you need to be getting out. And I think that's true.
Yeah.
At some point, you have to be responsible enough to know that. So anyway, and also in my little stack here of things that I kind of wanted to get to that I didn't get to, I mentioned to Bruce in the green room, if you will. I mentioned to Bruce that oil giant Shell, apparently they have bought one of the big leading electric vehicle charging station companies.
Trying to diversify.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Looks like, let's see, Netherlands-based New Motion. Apparently, that claims to produce more than 30,000 private charging stations, and 50,000 public ones through Europe now. They're mostly a European company, and obviously over in the Netherlands. Well, that'd be interesting. What that holds, what their intent is. Now, some people are going to say, "Oh, they're just trying to get rid of." I don't know. I think that with Tesla and a few others, that's going to be difficult to get the genie back in that bottle. Well, let's see. I'm looking through my stuff here. What else did I not cover? Oh, if anybody cares, Microsoft has brought Edge to Android and iOS.
I thought we talked about that.
Green Room.
Oh, was that all Green Room?
I'm pretty sure. If we did on the air, I don't remember doing it.
Tales from the Green Room. Another segment.
That's right. I don't remember. I know I didn't get into this article because I didn't get into a lot of my articles because we covered a lot of Google stuff, which was good. Oh, and there's something you haven't covered.
There is
mentioning Google about the little problem they had, and they fixed pretty quickly.
Oh, yes. So there was a group that got the Google Home Mini, and there was an issue with it, a little one, that it was recording 24/7. And they were alerted to it on a Friday, I think, afternoon. So within 3 hours of the person reporting it, they had people on it and got a fix out for it and patched it fairly quickly. I want to say it was in less than 24 hours. I mean, they pulled a team together, figured out what the issue was. I mean, there's no telling how many people, they probably had ton, because it wasn't every device that was affected. It was just a certain build that was. So there's no telling how many they had in a lab somewhere and people testing, trying to get it work and then putting in new code.
Right.
So it's, hats off. It stinks that it was a problem to begin with, but they corrected it fairly quickly. So we'll see how that goes. Which, Apple, I would say recently has done the same thing. They have had some major issues.
Oh yeah, and they put out fixes fairly quickly too.
Quickly, yeah.
I mean, they do. For everything that you might disagree with them about, we've talked about it a bunch. They put out.
Yeah, I mean, that goes back to my whole thing, though. But yeah, so Razer's got some new stuff. I'm gonna have to look. It's pretty nice.
So, another thing that I brought up with Bruce, and I think we got enough time here to sort of do a decent discussion of this. But apparently, it's come out today. Today is October 12th. Dell Technologies, according to this article in, Read Write, and Kay Lawrence is a contributing writer, Dell Technologies commits $1 billion to the future of Internet of Things, her I-O capital T.
Yeah, we were talking about this.
Well, I mean, I admit I don't know a lot about it. I know some about IoT, but what I'm curious about is, what is Dell's desires here? Is Dell wanting to...
What are they thinking?
Hold on. Is Dell want to build upon what some others have done? Maybe create devices that interact, work on some of the same platforms? Or are they going to build a platform? I mean, $1 billion sounds like an investment into starting a platform from scratch.
Yeah, I agree. It does.
And do we really need another IoT platform? I mean, we've got so many as it is now. Some of them don't talk to each other.
Yeah, they're trying to make that to where
I know.
At least a central hub can control them. But
but
device to device, they really
look
can't.
Look at the incompatibilities you might have with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, what was their own music player?
The one, let's see. I think I vaguely know what you're referring to.
They tried to break into that market, and I think they had a good bit of purchases, but I'm not sure if it didn't pan out like the.
Oh, you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about their whose music player?
Dell's. They had their own music player. Do you not remember it? It had the little scroll wheel.
You know, I guess I can shamefully say I don't remember it. I'm sorry, Bruce.
Oh, let me pull up a picture.
I don't recall it. I mean, I remember having a Zune. That's a Microsoft product. And I really have never had a
Oh yeah, man, you're gonna remember this.
an iPod. So I don't know.
They had several
iPads.
of these. Oh, I think it was the jukebox.
Oh yeah, I would have remembered the name.
And then they had the USB stick one that competed with the shuffle.
Okay.
I think.
Well, I mean that's Dell. You know,
I mean they were definitely inexpensive. I think it was the Dell Digital Jukebox is what it was called.
That's probably right.
Dell DJ.
The Dell DJ. There you go. I vaguely remember that now. Well, I'll be interested to see exactly what Dell's going to do with this, or if it just goes the way of the dodo bird. I don't know.
2004.
Let's see. Much of the underlying conversation was about a move away from a focus on cloud-based delivery towards distributed computing, as well as much commentary about the benefits of edge-based computing, particularly in regards to latency. IoT security and cost benefits, according to Michael Dell. According to Michael, Dell Technology is leading the way for our customers with a new distributed computing architecture that brings IoT and artificial intelligence together in one. Well, we'll see. I don't know. Look, I hope Dell's successful with something.
Yeah, to me that's a $1 billion gamble.
That's a big gamble.
It is a big
I just
gamble.
don't see them sell. I mean, what would they brand it? I just.
And the thing is, it can't be. All right, let's take the Dell DJ, the digital jukebox as an example.
That's gone. That nobody remembers.
It was not a sexy device.
Right.
It was very utilitarian.
But that's Dell in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know of anything that I can sit out and say, ooh, that's a really cool box.
Well,
I mean, some people love their Alienware stuff, but I don't. I'm not into that.
Well, that's not even them, really, right? That's
well,
true. It was, which I would say it's not. It doesn't have the appeal that it did years ago when it was Alienware was their own company. It was different. Dell has definitely put their sense of style with it. Not saying that, style isn't everything, right? But I mean, that's what sold those products. They're going to have to make something that is sexy or it's not going to sell.
Right.
I mean, it's going to be, it's Dell.
I totally agree. I just don't know how that's going to look or what that's going to be.
It will be interesting to see. And I just, there's so many that have come before you that all the groundwork's been laid, all the R&D's been done, and you're just now starting from scratch. Is there somebody that they're buying maybe, or is there some open research that they're pulling
if
from?
they're buying somebody for $1 billion, this sounds an awful lot like what Yahoo did when they bought people. Spend $1 billion here, spend $1 billion there.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. We shall see.
Well, when we come back, we have a little thing we like to call This Week in Tech History. And baby, it's gonna be a doozy. Welcome back into the Hey Techies Show. We're working almost to the top of the hour. And we don't have too much time left in the show, but before we get to that, we do have an all-important segment, which we haven't had Guru do in a few weeks.
It's been a month now.
It's been a month now.
I think.
And I don't know. I'm not exactly 100% sure.
100%.
Easy to say, easy for you to say. 100% sure of exactly what his picketing is about, but he's apparently picketing this week in tech history. He has his own reasons. It's fun. It's sort of his baby. He came up with it. I really like it.
I honestly think he just hadn't had time.
That could be, but I don't know. I think
either that or he's throwing me off my game.
I don't know. He's trying to do something, but Bruce, don't worry about it, because I'm trying to pick up.
Usually don't.
I'm trying to pick up where he left off.
Yeah.
Now I couldn't substantiate whether he's ever done this one before, so if it's a repeat, then it'll just have to be on me. But ready for your date?
I suppose.
Okay. October 10th, 1980.
I think I know this one.
You probably do.
It's Pac-Man, man.
Oh, ding, 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 ding. Bruce, you got it. Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
It was released, Midway released Pac-Man to the masses.
I'm trying to remember that documentary that I've watched. It's about the guy that, golly, I cannot remember the name of that documentary.
By the way, in May of that year, the Japanese released the same game under Puck name. That was a close one.
Was it called Chasing Ghosts? Yeah, Beyond the Arcade. I think that was what it was.
There was a lot of choices this week that I could have done.
The King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters. Maybe, I don't know. I've watched a lot of documentaries. I can't remember.
I had a lot of choices this week, by the way.
Yeah.
To do. Another one was a game that I.
This one doesn't count against me.
What doesn't count?
Oh, I thought you were going to make.
Oh, no. It was a game that you probably. It was the first Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah.
It was this week.
92.
CS 92.
92.
I think that's right.
Yeah, the King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters.
King of Kong.
Yeah. Talks about
if it didn't come out on the first Atari, I probably don't remember it. I remember Pitfall.
Yeah, I remember Pitfall. Yeah, it's a pretty good documentary. You should go watch it. It's got an 8.2 out of 10 stars on IMDb. Just saying. I like documentaries though. I've not found a. If you got a suggestion, email one. I haven't, and if it's one I hadn't already watched, I've been trying to look for one on Netflix lately, and I started watching one. I think it's called Icarus. It's about the Russian doping.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I've made it almost all the way through it, and I just got caught up doing I got to go do something.
Is it a documentary?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a documentary about the whole just doping in general with like Lance Armstrong and just in cycling, and then with Olympic sports and kind of how Russia subverted it, and it's very interesting. Very interesting. So I think I got just the juicy part. I think I was like, well, I gotta
no
go
pun
do
intended. just the juicing part.
No, it was it was actually the director of the lab over in Russia had to flee. He was fearing for his life, so the guy that was doing the documentary put him up in an apartment, I think over in LA. So I have to finish watching it and see how it goes. I'll let you know if it was a good one.
That's what a new segment on the show. Bruce's documentaries.
No, I was actually thinking about doing like maybe a drink of the month, maybe. Whether it be a whiskey or a cocktail.
Oh my goodness!
Because
come on, now.
I had one this last Sunday. Was it Sunday? Yeah. Oh, delicious. delicious. And I had never had. Oh well, that's not tech. We won't go over it. But I'd never had this particular.
Has it stopped us before?
That's true. I'd never had absinthe before. And,
what? You're going to have to teach me. What? Absinthe? What did you say? Absence?
Absinthe.
Absinthe.
Yeah.
I don't have any idea what. I'm not in the.
You would actually. Because you like black licorice.
Yeah, but I'm not in the drinking.
I know that.
Nah, that's okay.
But you just you put a half ounce in a chilled glass, swirled it, poured it out, just to wash the glass in it. Because the rest of what in there, whenever you drank it, the smell of it, because part of taste is smell.
So wait a minute. They put something in the glass that they throw out. They swirl it, and then put your drink in there.
And then put your drink in there.
And that gives a flavor or a smell.
Yes, it builds, like, stuff in that builds on one of the bitters that is in it.
It's bitter, okay.
Yeah, but you are also mixing lemon.
I get it.
And
I get it. It's a mixed drink. I get the point.
Was delicious.
Okay.
Dangerously delicious. Ooh.
Dangerously. Would this be an expensive drink?
No.
I don't. So you wouldn't really need Bitcoins to buy it. Probably.
No. And in fact, the absinthe that was chosen for the wash was just the cheapest one you could find. Because it's not really, you're not really, I mean, you get a little bit of taste of it because, I mean, it is washed in the glass, but it's really the aroma you're looking for. So. But yeah, very interesting.
So Bitcoin reaches a new high, by the way.
Yes. I'm glad I have 20 of them.
Okay. I wouldn't tell anybody that.
I have 0.
You should have bought it a while back, though.
I should have mined back when I first heard about them, and I was like,
yeah, but even if you invested,
ain't nobody got time for that.
Let's see.
Which I would have, but you know what? I was too busy.
No, I was too busy. I don't have the money for
I was too busy folding at home.
Yeah. Okay.
People know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I did SETI for a little while too, just to say I helped. So
anyway, it's almost up to $5,300 a coin.
A coin. It will be. I guarantee you. Yes, I guarantee you. Within a month, they'll be at 6. What's the max it will reach?
According to this,
I think it'll reach
Bitcoin
6.
has had a daily trade volume of more than $100 million after 2017, since January of 2017.
I tell you what, it's about to start get some attention from the government, and then they're going to want their cut.
Well, you know what's funny? This article suggests that the actual surge in price has come as fears of Chinese regulators blocking cryptocurrency exchange sites have dwindled.
Yeah, so it took a hit from that. But it has bounced back quick. I mean, because that was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it was like, and who cares? That's pretty much the way it went.
Well, anyway.
I'm telling you, it's a force to be reckoned with right now. But it is because it is currently the currency of choice.
Bitcoin now has a larger market cap than GDPs of nearly 3/4 of the world.
Mm-hmm. Which that's not really saying much, to be honest.
Well, it's a good comparison.
Maybe. It should that instead should show you how concentrated wealth is.
Yeah, well, okay.
You can't deny it.
I didn't say that, but I know the reasons for that.
Do you really?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
You'll have to share it with me sometime.
Well, you won't agree with them, but I guarantee you won't.
Okay.
I guarantee you won't, but that's okay.
Bull butter.
No, it ain't gonna be no bull butter. I know better than bull butter. Well, let me guess. That was all you had.
I'm pretty sure.
Speaking of not having much, I'm just kidding. Hey, how about this? I thought this interesting.
What's that?
A Virginia church, now get this, is going to sell their campus and their land for a company to build a data center.
Do what?
Yep. Yeah, in Virginia, Christian Fellowship Church. The pastor, Brian Bells, informed church members that an agreement had been reached with an unnamed buyer in the data center industry. Apparently, they are an area where the city has sort of moved off from them, apparently. Has migrated, basically.
Yeah.
And from what I'm gathering out of the article, that this Christian Fellowship Church, there is a lot of industrial sections around their church now. And apparently a company wants to buy the property to build a data center.
Have they said whom?
Well, it says here, let's see, the Christian Fellowship Church's prime location for data center campus, a 22-acre property neighboring the Equinix interconnection hub, and the digital reality data center at Bumadade Circle. So apparently there's a lot of things like that around that area. But the thing about it that's interesting to me, that this undisclosed amount, but here's something that you can derive from it. Recently announced a $5 million renovation plan for the current church and location there.
I'm sorry, how much?
$5 million renovation plan.
So it's a small church.
Yeah. Which can
renovation,
instead
not rebuild.
Be channeled toward the construction of a new place of worship. It will also allow the church to clear an estimated $4.5 million in debt.
Oh, wow.
I do not see a congregation number.
Guessing it's pretty large.
Okay, the previous record for purchase of data center site was the $1 million per acre paid by Equinix for the 34.5 acre expansion of its Loudoun County campus. Anyway,
so have you seen DJI?
He found something while I was running my mouth.
No, I actually had read this earlier today, and I wanted to find it again. So DJI has a new, I'm not calling it a drone, but a new UAV.
Wait, I didn't get it. Who has it? Say it again, because it's
DJI. We've seen their.
Okay.
I give in. Drone. They're drones.
I get it. I got it.
6K camera. Drone camera. Designed to make movies.
Okay, yeah.
The base of the, I guess it's called the ZenMuse X7, cost $2,700 by itself.
Wow.
While every lens, say, for the 50 millimeter cost $1,300.
There you go.
The long range lens costs $100 less. Completists probably want to buy a 4-lens bundle at $4,300. But that is in the realm of what it cost for cameras and the get-ups, to do stabilization and all that. It's actually fairly inexpensive if you were to go out and buy a professional 4K camera and some stabilization stuff. So you might see people being able to do, quote unquote low budget movies that are extremely high quality.
Right.
Not that I'm saying Paranormal Activity was high quality, but I mean it had a $15,000 budget and it made $150 million. So that's the one thing with especially great time of year to talk about it with scare flicks, that they're usually extremely low budget and generate a huge amount of revenue, and kind of that's their point. A lot of them, they're artists and they want to make great things, but also they got to make some money. So this might be a great way for somebody that's looking to get into the biz to do that. And I actually have a buddy that bought one. I think it has a 4K camera on it. It's the one that will follow you around. And he had purchased it with intentions on taking it back.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just wanted to do some aerial shots of something for like some weekend thing, and he was like, I've got so many days to take it back, but he's like, I really want to keep it.
Yeah.
He's like, I really want to keep it.
Really liked it, huh?
Yeah, because he sent me an aerial shot of his neighborhood, and I was like, and one just right above his house, like kind of what it looked like on Google Earth. And I was like, dude, these are really high quality. He's like, yeah. He's like, I forgot to tell you, I got a DJI. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, why did you pay that much? He was like, well, I intended on taking it back. He said, now I have to convince my wife that I can't.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, I mean, I forget how much he paid, but I mean, I think it was about $1,200 or more. So,
I forgot to put this in our section where we were talking about Netflix, but I told Bruce we were talking before the show, AT&T, according to a recent article, has dropped 90,000 video subscribers in the U.S. compared to same time year over year, last quarter in 2016. That'd be the third quarter. And it looks like also, it says the DirecTV Now has added 300,000 subscribers in the quarter. So they're actually adding that together, saying that AT&T lost about 390,000 satellite TV and cable customers in that same quarter.
But they gained 300 DirecTV
That's
Now.
what I was thinking, DirecTV
But
Now.
how many of those are doing both?
Yeah, see, I don't know.
That's interesting. Which I think the DirecTV Now, for what, $30 a month is what it originally was?
I have no idea, to be honest with you, Bruce. I'm sorry.
If I got that,
I have something different.
He has Dish.
Yes,
he's got the Happa.
No, I don't have the Hopper. I should get the Hopper.
He doesn't have the Happa.
I don't have the Hopper. I got something old.
Yeah.
Well, as usual,
me. They will probably upgrade you for free if you call them and say, I'm thinking about swapping to DirecTV.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They got this Genie. And they're like, we've got the Happa.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We'll send it to you.
Right, exactly right. Well, the Hey Techies show is going to call it a night.
Another one in the books, baby.
Yes, sir.
And next week, hopefully the Guru will be back.
From all of us to all of you, have a fabulous weekend.